With the unfortunate news that was posted on October 25th that Ark Survival Ascended, the console version, was going to be delayed until November, players are just biting at their fingernails here, trying to get any information they possibly can about the official console release. So in today's video, I'm going to give you guys all of the information that we currently know about the console version of Ark Survival Ascended and the current status. So diving into the first chunk of news here, and this obviously brings us back to the official posting from the developers themselves. If you're not up to date on this, they did drop this on the Survive the Ark's website, where they did go deeper into the console delay and why they felt that it was necessary at the very last minute. And the article goes on to talk about how our team has identified some critical issues in multiplayer version of the game that would have major implications on the console versions of the game. Unfortunately, due to these issues, we've decided to delay the launch of the Xbox and PlayStation versions of the game until November. They talk about how they are also themselves disappointed and how the team really did aim to get everything done for all the platforms by the end of October. However, they fell short just at the finish line. They are sorry about it, and that they know that a lot of us are very excited about this launch and made plans around it. And additionally, in the article, they kind of give us a little bit of a roadmap here, or at least what their plans are going forward, and we'll talk about in a second here what a lot of players' concerns are. It states we're on two tracks. One track is managing the launch of the PC version, and the other track is preparing a patch for the game's console version with the latest content and gameplay updates and fixes. They state the additional time will let them resolve these specific multiplayer issues and bring the game up to the PC specification. And now obviously I'm not going to read the entire article because the video would be super duper long, and if you guys want to check it out, you guys can go read it for yourselves. But essentially it's just a easy-going article where they wanted to address the player base, specifically the console player base, and establish kind of like a semi-apology versus blaming it on some sort of last-minute issue they had with multiplayer, and that's the reason why that the console version was delayed. Now, all of that is fantastic. They talk about releasing new servers for the console version as soon as the console version does officially go live, which should be a good thing for, console players. However, there's still tons and tons of concerns that players are having and people talking about throughout the Ark community, and one of them talks about, are they still actually focusing on getting the console version out in November, or are they simply sidelining the console version and putting all of their eggs on the PC version and trying to iron out the PC version, because as we know, that also has a lot of issues. So now, to kind of set the stage for this concern by the players, let's take a look at really quickly all of the updates and stuff that we have seen and news we've heard from Wildcard or, Ark Survival Ascended or even Snail Games, all right? Everything that we have seen so far is directly related to the Steam version of the game, aka the PC version. Everything. We're seeing tons of patch notes for, new stuff. We see tons of bug fixes. We see tons of optimization. We see literally everything about the Steam version. And this right here is what's getting players more and more worried every single day that we get these updates, that they're not simply focusing in on the console versions, and instead they're going all in on the Steam versions, potentially not making them meet the deadline of releasing the console version by the end of November. Well, the first response we have from a developer addressing this concern was over on Twitter. Specifically, the developer Jat here was asked a question and then they respond. The official corpse dog on Twitter asked Jat specifically, tell us after this, referring to a most recent patch, an update that they dropped on their Twitter page. They said consoles are going to be priority. Again, Jat here reassures and says the folks working on the live game are different to the people that are handling the console operations. That stuff remains a priority and is ongoing. And to back this up, Dolly, once again another developer here for Ark Survival Ascended, did also follow up another tweet on her Twitter account that says, Ark players following me waiting for Ark Survival Ascended console news. Her response, the folks working on the live game are different to the team handling console operations. That stuff remains a priority and is ongoing. So literally just copying and pasting Jat here, but they said we'll have more to share on the console front soon. We haven't forgot about you, with a crying emoji. Additionally, here she does drop another comment that says, I'm limiting the replies to this because I want to step back to live operations now, and I'd rather not seem like I'm ignoring the multiple questions I expect to come in. That's all. So those of you out there that are worried that the dev team is all in on the Steam version and not focusing whatsoever on the console version of the game to get it out or released by by the end of November, I would try to put some of those worries to rest, because we have two different devs here talking about how they are technically two separate teams. Therefore, it's ongoing process for both of them, focusing in on the live service event and also focusing in on getting the console version released. In addition to the console news, we also have a conversation that took place inside of the official Ark Survival Ascended Discord, and Sir Mikey actually asked and said, so the rumors are true, they are pushing console to the end of the year or early January. And Jat once again has a response for this and says these rumors are false, and we'll have more to share on the console front soon. And additionally, we had another comment mentioned about consoles inside of the official Discord for Ark Survival Ascended by Dolly. They say, hi, we're here and continuing to work on both consoles and Steam Live Ops. No console update as yet. No, we'll share more news very soon though. Once we have a more certainty of time frame and such, the console launch is coming. It's coming in November, and we'll update you all soon. And unfortunately, we don't necessarily have an exact date inside of November when we could see Ark Survival Ascended come to consoles. I will state here that through all of these comments and tweets and everything about the console version, the developers have been very strict and adamant that the game is still on track to launch for consoles in November. And hopefully, to give you some additional ease of mind, I want to just kind of break down my thoughts on all of this and hopefully help you guys out, all right? For number one here, if you guys didn't know that the largest player base for Ark Survival Evolved is actually the console version of the game. I would imagine this to be the exact same thing carrying over into Ark Survival Ascended. So for me personally, this would give me some confirmation that Wildcard doesn't want to lose out on that amount of money. Therefore, I would imagine that they're putting all of their eggs into the console basket and trying their best to deliver this game as soon as they possibly can. Now, obviously, I'm not a developer. I don't exactly know what was wrong with the game via the multiplayer issues and why they couldn't potentially bring it to consoles when it was set to launch here in October. But what I can tell you is that it must have been pretty significant in order for them to take another revenue hit for another month. So I'm 100% expecting the game to launch just strictly based on that. But secondly here, let's take a look at these nasty review bombs we have on the official Steam page. If you guys haven't seen it yet, you can head over to the official store page for Ark Survival Ascended and just take a look at the review section. It says all reviews out of 18,756, it is set as mixed. And I can tell you from all of my gaming experience, that hurts. It hurts a lot, because not only does this mixed review setting obviously reflect on the game poorly, but it also prevents a lot of new people from downloading and actually playing the game. It doesn't matter how much advertising you actually do for the game via the Steam client. If players click on that ad, it takes them to the official page for Steam. They're immediately going to look right at that review section to see if the game is worth purchasing and actually playing. And with it having 18,700 reviews and it's still labeled as mixed and not green in the positive, I'm telling you, they're losing out on a lot of revenue. So I 100% expect them to deliver on the console version as everybody expects them to here in November via their first delay, because if they don't, well, it might just 100% kill Ark Survival Ascended. Now, obviously, I don't want that to happen, and I 100% understand the reasoning behind why console players are really pissed off about the game's official release coming or being delayed until November, and also even PC players being pissed off that the game was very under optimized, and it still technically is under optimized for what it should be for its official early access launch here in October. But all I can offer here, guys, is just the latest news about what we know for the console version of the game, its official release, when it's coming, and I want to just ask your guys' opinion down below in the comment section. Do you think that we will see the official console release here coming in on November? Do you think they'll meet the official deadline, or do you think they'll actually push it off until January 2024 via the rumors? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe here on the channel for everything Ark Survival Ascended related. And with that being said, as always, guys, have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all on the next one.